Hello and welcome to ATech. My name is Akshay and we are back with the next part of this video tutorial series. And those who have not watched the previous videos, I recommend those to watch that first in order to understand this concept, this .NET concept better. Okay, so today we will learn what is strong named assembly and weak named assembly. We will see what is strong named assembly, what is weak named assembly, and how to strong naming an assembly. That is how we can make an assembly a strong name assembly. Okay. So first we will see the definition. What is weak named assembly? If an assembly is not signed with a private public key pair, then the assembly is said to be weak named assembly, and it is not guaranteed to be unique and may cause the DLL error. Now strong name assembly. If an assembly is signed with private public key pair, then the assembly is said to be strong named assembly. The strong named assemblies are guaranteed to be unique and solve the DLL problem. Now what is the DLL problem that I have discussed in my first video itself? That we will talk about the DLL problem in detail, what this DLL problem is and how to solve that DLL problem. But for now, we know what is strong named assembly and weak named assembly and how strong named assemblies are used in solving DLL problem. Okay, so we'll see that in action. Okay. Now, this is the previous example which we have used in previous video, the same example. So now what this application, what this program is basically doing, it is simply printing this hello world to console. Okay, so now this console class is present in this system. Basically what this system is, this is an assembly, and from where this system assembly is coming. So as I have told you in my first video itself that whenever we install .NET in our computer or in our system maybe, so two most important things get installed automatically. What are they? First is framework class library, that is .NET framework class library, and second one is CLR. These two things get installed automatically whenever we install .NET in our computer. That I have told you already in first video, okay, of this tutorial series. Okay, so this system assembly is coming from framework class library. Okay, you can see here this has some dependencies. This is a frameworks Microsoft .NET Core app. Okay, so this system assembly is from that framework class library. Okay, and that framework class library contains this assembly, but this assemblies gets installed into GAC. So what is GAC? GAC, that is Global Assembly Cache. And we will know about this GAC or Global Assembly Cache in a great detail in our upcoming video or in our next video. But for now, this system assembly is get installed into that GAC. So that is why that assembly is strong named assembly. So that is why we don't have to give reference of this system assembly externally or manually to this project. Okay, so whatever assembly is get installed into GAC, that is shared assembly, also that is called as shared assembly. Okay, so now I will show you. If you go to this C drive, Windows and assemblies, and here you will find this folder GAC. Go to that, and as you can see here, all these assemblies are strong named assemblies. Okay, so now again question, how to distinguish between strong name assembly and a weak named assembly. Okay, so we will see that. So this is one of assembly. If I go inside this folder, so as you can see here, there is this assembly info file. If I right click and edit that, okay, you will find something like this: display name, version, culture, and this public key token. Okay, so now as you can see here, a strong named assembly consists of display name, version number, culture information, and public key token. Now again, this version number consists of these four parts. that is major version, minor version, build number and revision number. So what are these? Actually in real time what happens when any application undergoes change, then in that change we might fix some bugs, we might introduce some new features or anything. Then depending on that change, if that change is very huge, then we change this major version, and if that change is not very huge, then we change this minor version. And this build number and revision number are defaulted, basically those are most of the time handled by compiler itself. Okay, so that we don't have to worry about much. Okay, and I will show you that. Okay, as I have explained you something in my previous video about the assembly versions. Okay, so that we will see. I have shown you how to see assembly version. Go to properties, go to package section, and here it is. The assembly version is 1. So this is a major version, this is minor version, build number, and this is revision number. Okay, and for those who have not seen the previous video, I recommend those to watch that video first. Okay, you will know about how to disassemble assembly also. That everything you will find in that previous video of this tutorial series. Okay, so coming back to this video, now as I have said, a strong name assembly consists of this display name, version number, culture information, and public key token. And as you can see here, this assembly has everything, that is display name, version, culture, and public key token. Now display name is a simple name which assembly gets from its project itself. Okay, so if this is a project name, that project name is by default the assembly's name, as you can see here. So this is not my project's assembly. I have only shown you, for example, project name is by default an assembly name. So this is a whole different assembly. This is the assembly from GAC I have shown you. So this second thing is version. I have told you about the version just now, that it has 4 parts. Okay, major, minor, build, and a revision. And third one is culture. So what is this culture? So most of the assemblies in GAC have this neutral culture. Okay, so what is this neutral culture? This is neutral culture means a language neutral culture, and this assembly contains only that information about the main assembly and the required resources. If this culture is anything apart from this neutral, let's say if this culture is English, then this assembly is specific to that culture. Okay, I will show you how to alter this culture information also. So basically just try to understand, if this culture is apart from this neutral culture, then that assembly is totally dependent on that culture. Okay, as well as that assembly is also called as satellite assembly. Now what this satellite assembly, we will see that in great detail in our upcoming videos. So for now, this is your culture, and I will show you how to alter this information also. Now as you can see here, so you can see assembly version, assembly file version, but if you want to add some additional attributes to this information, or let's say you want to alter the culture information, then you will find in properties some assembly info class. If you not see this, or I am also not seeing this class here, so what we can do, just right click on this properties, add one class, and we'll name it as assembly info.cs. Okay, so now what we'll do, we don't need this, we need only using statement, that is system dot reflection. Okay, and just in square bracket type assembly colon then assembly culture, as you can see here, assembly culture, and in the constructor of that, basically if you pass nothing to this constructor, then this assembly culture will be language neutral. But if you type something in this, then this assembly will have some culture, and that assembly will be dependent on that culture only. Okay, and also it will be called as satellite assemblies. And basically compiler use this attribute only to distinguish between a normal assembly, that is main assembly, which contains only a main application and resources regarding that application only, and this satellite and the satellite assembly, which contains culture specific resources. Okay, now moving on. Now we will see how to strong name an assembly. That is, if there is any assembly which is weak named assembly, so how to make that strong named assembly, or let's say how to sign that assembly with private public key pair. Okay, we'll see that. And before that also, to sign an assembly with private public key pair, we need one private public key file. Okay, so for that matter, let's jump into a developer's command prompt. Okay, I will search for developer's command prompt. I will right click and run it as an administrator. Okay, to create one private public key file, we have one Visual Studio command prompt tool, that is sn.exe. Okay, and just specify -k, which indicates that you are creating a key. Okay, so basically this is -k is a switch which indicates you are creating a key file. Okay, and give any meaningful name. I will give sample key file .snk, and you have to give .snk for a key file as an extension. Okay, and basically you have to specify on which path you want to generate this file. Okay, so I will just give C drive as my path. In C drive I want this file to be created. Okay, and now I will press enter. And as you can see, key pair return to C. Okay, we will find that. I will just go to C, and you will find that file here somewhere. Okay, so and as you can see, here it is, sample key file.snk. This is the file we have created. Now we have to sign an assembly with this private public key pair file. Okay, so we have to take this name and just go to that assembly info. Okay, so just type in here assembly, and you have to type assembly key file. Okay, and you have to specify that file name as well as the path where it is located. Okay, so C drive / that file name. Okay, and basically you have to give again a backslash, so you have to escape this character because this has a special meaning in between this inverted comma. Okay, so now just save this and try to build this. Okay, so build succeeded. And that's how you sign an assembly with private public key pair. And now this assembly is said to be or becomes a strong named assembly. Okay, and how these strong named assemblies are installed in GAG, or how we can install this strong named assembly into GAG, that we will see in our next video. So, and remember that only strong named assemblies can be installed into GAG, So that's how also you can distinguish a strong named assembly and a weak named assembly, because weak named assembly cannot be installed into a GAC, and that also will be clear to you guys in our next video. Okay, so for now just remember this, that only strong named assembly can be installed into GAC, and how we can do that we will see in our next video. Okay, so we will see just a summary what we have learned today. So how to distinguish between strong named assembly and weak named assembly. That is, weak named assembly is not signed with private public key pair. Strong named assembly is signed with private public key pair. Okay, how to sign assembly with private public key pair we have just seen now. Okay, culture information in assembly is language neutral for most of the assembly, and when we type any string into that attribute, then that assembly becomes a satellite assembly, that we have just seen. Okay, this assembly culture information, if you type anything other than this empty string, then that assembly will be considered as satellite assembly. Okay, as well as compiler distinguish between main assembly and satellite assembly based on this assembly culture attribute only. Okay, so that's it for now, and we will see what is GAC and how to install an assembly into a GAC. Till then, stay tuned and thank you.